So tonight, you guys, I wanted to bring up a topic that you might not be familiar with. Some of you might be. I don't even know what to call it actually because I hate using certain terminology for it. So, okay, here we go. I've always known things. I have always had this thing that I know things that I shouldn't know, you know? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, how can I make this more clear? I don't want to use the term psychic because I think that that can be a very broad term, and perhaps it's the appropriate term for what I'm referring to. But I never saw myself as truly like a psychic person, but I guess in some ways I must be. I've always known that I was different from a lot of people in more ways than one, obviously. I've always had this feeling that when I was near people that I can tell what they were going through and I can feel their energy, and therefore it would become very clear to me what kind of person I'm dealing with and what the situation I was walking into was going to be like. Now, it doesn't always work, if you know what I mean. Maybe it's because I'm not being attentive to it, or maybe it's because I ignore it. People call it your gut, you know. I do believe that that's true. I believe if you ignore your gut, that you're ignoring that psychic part of you that is giving you a clear indication that something you need to approach something with caution, in other words. I spend nearly about, I would say, 70% of my time researching different things. All of them are self-help, in my opinion. They're all ways to improve my cognitive skills and my people skills and my me skills, and it's across the board. When it comes to life, when it comes to the people that are in our lives and the way our lives unfold, I think most of us probably look for signs and indicators, reminders of things that might aid us in living a happier, safer life, and other things that we would want to avoid. Gosh, I really feel like I'm making any sense. I have this thing. I wanted to ask a question of everyone. Does anybody else feel what I feel? I feel, and I've always felt, well, not always, I would say for at least the last 10 or more years, I have felt this vibration. It's an energy. It's a lower vibration, but it's really strong. It radiates in the cosmos. It's all around me. It's more intense when I'm outside around people. That's when I feel it the most. When I'm out in nature by myself, I don't feel it. It's really, every time I think I have something about life figured out, I realize that I just don't know anything at all. All of my life, I've had these sensory abilities. I guess we can refer to it as ESP. Across the board, I've had many experiences regarding the paranormal and unexplained phenomena. At times, I've seen spirits. At times, I have astral projected. Whether it had been consciously or unconsciously, but it has happened many, many times. There is this more common trait to this phenomena that is more pronounced than the ones I just described. And that is, all right, so this video, as you can see, what the title says, is dedicated to empaths. So I'm an empath. If you don't know what an empath is, I would encourage you to research it on either YouTube or Google it or use any search engine to gather the information about it. But I'm going to tell you in my own words what being an empath means to me. So being an empath is more than just feeling empathy for people. Unfortunately, the word doesn't really grasp the entire spectrum of abilities that are bestowed upon you when you're born as an empath. Now, there are some people I've heard say that empaths are not born, that they're made, and they're made from trauma, and that from trauma they become empathic because there's a hypervigilance that people that have experienced trauma have used in order to survive by picking up on very, very subtle changes in people's personality and behavior. Okay, so I might be jumping around in this video a lot. I'm going to try my best to keep a straight, logical format in how I explain myself in this video. But if I go off the handle, please forgive me. I'm going to try my best. This is not something that I talk about often because, well, after you hear it, you can only imagine that people think you're just bananas and you're missing a screw. But it's something that is not hocus pocus to me. It's something that's very real in my life. It's something that is very important in my life, and it's a part of my character, a part of my personality that I cannot ignore. I choose and refrain from telling people that I don't know well or that I'm not close to because I don't think it would benefit them to know that I am what I am. I think that if anything, it might hinder their ability to grow spiritually. So, nevertheless, okay, so first off, empaths. If you are an empath, I'm really happy that you're watching this. I think it's time we talk. I don't often have the ability to connect with other empaths and talk about some of the major redundant experiences that we continue to face day in and day out. Let me give you an example. There are two types of people that are drawn to empaths above all other personalities. Those two types of personalities, or those two types of people that are drawn to us, are narcissists and sociopaths. Now, not all narcissists are sociopaths, but all sociopaths are definitely narcissists. For some reason, well, it's not for some reason, there's a very clear reason as to why they're drawn to us. People that are narcissists, or people that are considered sociopaths, they're not aware of why they are drawn to us. They really have no clue as to why they're drawn to us, but they have this need to control us and to destroy us. If you have experienced a relationship with a narcissist, I am so sorry that you had to go through that because they're one of the most dangerous and toxic types of people you can ever encounter. And unfortunately, once you encounter one and you have a life experience with one, you only begin to attract more. It's like they leave some kind of essence on you, some kind of stink that other narcissists can smell, and gives them this green light to attempt to control you and abuse you. Hopefully, if you are an empath and you have survived a relationship with a narcissist, hopefully you have learned from your experience and you are hyper-vigilant as to spot them way ahead of time before they really dig their claws into your life. Sometimes I'm good at spotting them, other times I'm not. And the reason why I'm good at it sometimes and other times I'm not is because usually in the times that I'm not aware of it, I have something that is blocking me, something that's blocking my ability to read them. And oftentimes that block is created by me. Let me give you an example. One of the most difficult ways for me to truly read someone is when I'm sexually or romantically interested in them or drawn to them. If that's one of the components in my relationship with this person, forget it. They can be a narcissist, they could be a sociopath, they could be a psychopath, and I probably would because we feel everything so much stronger than most people. I get so wrapped up in how I feel about the person, the attraction that I have towards this person, that I have this tendency to not see what is evidently the qualities of a person that would be labeled a narcissist or a sociopath. I get smitten by someone, and then it's like a spell has been casted upon me, in which I have this inability or this unwillingness to see them on all sides, and therefore invite this negative entity into my life. Because narcissists, they may look human, they may act human, but they're not human, honey. That's a demon in the flesh right there. They're insidious. And they're so cocky and arrogant. They believe they're the smartest thing that's ever existed. The worst thing about a narcissist is that they actually use the one wonderful and beautiful quality that God has given you against you. They take that special part of you, that empathy, because they don't have any. They have zero empathy. They feel nothing towards other people. Anything that they remotely feel towards someone that can sort of relate to how we feel towards people only benefits them in the end. It's self-serving at best. So they never will experience the type of feelings that we experience due to our good nature and our ability to care for others and think of others before ourselves. Narcissists are a rare breed because, well, actually, they're not really rare anymore. They're actually quite common now. It seems like they're on every corner. It seems like every other person I meet these days is a narcissist. The funny thing about them, though, is that once you can spot them, once you know who they are, and they try to weasel their way back into your life by giving you some veiled apology, or they'll come to you in the name of altruism, pretending that they want to wave a white flag and mend a broken relationship that once existed. Or they will pull on your heartstrings and try and make you have sympathy and empathy for them. But all in all, what they're doing is they're trying to play you because they think you're stupid. They think that because you can say, I'm sorry, or that you throw a few kind words, or show some manufactured concern for someone else, that us stupid empaths are just gonna fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. Bitch, please. Listen. Don't even try it. I'm not interested. You see, honey, you cannot fool me. Once I have seen your real face, that's all I see. Unfortunately, for you as a narcissist, you'll never change for the better. You can't change for the better. In order to change for the better, you would have to have some admission of responsibility or guilt in your own behavior, which you never will possess because you have no ability to be sorry about anything. People are just commodity. Personalities are there to mimic in your world. People are means to an end in your existence. That's one of the biggest differences between you and I. So continue trying to play games and have your way with what's happening over here. A narcissist is such a piece of garbage because they pretend to have the emotions that we thrive on, that we suffer with. They pretend to possess these qualities in order to manipulate not only other people, but you yourself. But hopefully you'll be smart and you'll learn from the past. All of those that came before he or she that is now trying to plant themselves in the center of your life because they want to absorb your energy and all of your goodness and all of your beauty because they possess none of it. See, narcissists don't own a personality. They have no personality. They can only mimic others people's personalities because they lack one. And they will use by any means necessary. And don't think that they rest. No, 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 my dear. That would be a grave error on your part. The narcissist never rests. If a narcissist feels wronged by you, they will never rest until they can exact revenge on you. This is what they do. This is how they live. This is how they get their narcissistic supply, is by getting some type of reaction out of you, or by getting some foot in your door in order to bring the poison and toxic into your life and destroy you. They're out there, they're real. And they will disguise themselves and they will pretend to be this and that and the other. But honey, once you have been burned because you've been close enough to a fucking bottom-feeding narcissist, you will see them for what they are. Once you see that ugly fucking face, you can't unsee it. It doesn't matter how many masks. So, honey, please do not insult my intelligence. Do not think for a second that you have won one over on me. I got your number, bitch. I've had your number for a minute. And I see you for exactly what you are. You don't scare me, and you don't fool me. You're not smarter than me, and you won't win. I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to back down, because this bitch right here, I ain't backing down. So I wish you luck, all empaths out there, because luck is going to be something that you're going to need on your side, because these things are insidious. They're relentless. They won't stop until they poison everything in their path. I hope that you can get something out of this video today, because this is the one thing that I wanted to talk about more than anything else. I seem to be at a point in my life where I am surrounded by narcissistic people. Not people that have narcissistic traits. No, these are complete and utter 100% bona fide narcissists. But they're not invincible. They're not demigods. They're just scared little things that imitate human beings. And if you take away their narcissistic supply, they won't be able to survive. What do they want for supply? Your attention. Whether it be good or bad, that's what they want. They want to feed off of your energy. So while you sit there and... All right, so I'm not going to get into it really much anymore for this evening. I'm going to save the rest for another video. I'm kind of sick of talking about narcissists. I just want to go to bed and wake up tomorrow fresh and new. This was my message to my brothers and sisters in the struggle.